Well, even going to my teens, I didn't really have much TV to watch, so I still saw a little bit of programs that were aimed at kids. Well, I know that kids were still growing up on lots of the PBS kids shows and stuff like that. But in 1993, there was this one show that came out that I feel like did not get a lot of respect and what have you, especially since its star was from South America, actually direct from Brazil. And I feel like this is a very underrated show. This is. So today in this episode, do you remember? I am going to be talking about the American TV series featuring Brazil's own Xuxa. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents Do You Remember? Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Dual, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, and I'm back with another episode of Do You Remember? Today I'm going to be talking about a children's television series from 1993, and I feel like this is a very underrated and probably forgotten show with one of the biggest names from South America. No, not Shakira. This was before even, well, that one probably got introduced. She might have been pretty big back in time, but there was this one chick who really was pretty big in South America, though she's actually from Brazil, whereas you probably know Shakira's from Colombia. Well, I'm gonna say this is one chick who, well, had trouble saying what she was saying because she didn't know much English, but she really did her extreme best, especially with this show that I feel like is easily an underrated gem. So here it is. I ask you, do you remember the 1993 TV series known as Xuxa? Xuxa was an Americanized kids version of a series that originally started out in the titular star's, well, home country of Brazil. The series originally premiered in syndication in September of 1993 and was produced by MTM along with Lynch Entertainment. Now then, this series I feel like is probably underrated. I know it didn't catch on with American audiences to be honest. Well, usually this some consider it to be like a game show, which I would spotlight on wide world game shows, but this is kind of a mixed bag of game show and variety show. So that's why I'm doing Do You Remember? And this show has not ever been talked about too much, except maybe one. I did watch one video where someone actually did remember the show. Anyway, Shusha was a pretty underrated kid show in my time. Anyway, we it features Maria Meg Meg Megu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Who, of course, was better known around the world as the pop star Shusha, who really brought to us music and fun and other things on our series that was released in America. It was based on her previous series, Show de Xuxa, which had just been canceled in Brazil a year prior. It was created by Thomas W. Lynch and Marlene Matos, with MTM Enterprises handling production. Of course, MTM, of course, which is owned by the company created by Mary Tyler Moore, which of course was well known for mostly giving us popular sitcoms from the 70s and the 80s, like the Mary Tyler Moore Show, the Bob Newhart Show, Rhoda, WKRP in Cincinnati, Phyllis, and Newhart, and many others. Yeah. They handled production, and the show is made up of various segments featuring games, famous guests, and educational lessons. The series originally started in September on September 13th, 1993. Now, a year prior, there was a dispute over who was going to produce the show, as both MTM and animation giant Deke, who certainly was no stranger to doing live action stuff, were interested. However, Xuxa ended up selecting MTM in the end, as she thought their approach to bringing a Brazilian show to an American audience was better. Now, of course, it's entirely based on our recent series of Show de Xuxa, which ran from 1986 to 1992. Now, she had there were various characters on there. There was the Paquitas, they were named Pixies. And to be honest, I'm not really sure what they the Pixies were. I could be wrong though, but you can tell me. But if you have seen the show, you can tell me what they were and what have you. But they were called Pixies, and she was also aided by different characters such as a panda bear named Jelly and a jaguar named Jam. Bell took on the role of Jelly, while Jam took on the role was played by Mark Castle. Excuse me, I got a they anyway. The series was the first and only only person from Brazil, Xuxa, was to have an actual television program in the U.S. Anyway, this is a combination game show and variety show. Now, the show features various activities that stimulate children's learning that are guided by both Xuxa and her colleagues Jelly and Jam. Now, the show is divided into about 5 segments with breaks for commercials, just as the original program did in Brazil. During the segments, Xuxa calls kids on stage for interactive games, and everyone was apprised in the guard regard. Well, excuse me, I got tongue tied again. In the end, regardless of the outcome. In other segments, Xuxa interviews various professionals such as skaters, swimmers, animal trainers, and I don't know what have you. But there were also times which served as her guests. But there was also well-known celebrities and time that kids would recognize. As a matter of fact, Shusha also sang a couple of versions of her own songs during the program in English, in a way, and also at the very end of the show. And in the end, a child was chosen for her to kiss on the cheek on stage. Yeah. Anyway, now when now when now back before she even went with MTM, Shusha initially refused the invitations because she believed that she needed to learn to speak English better first. She was kind of in a way a little well, I rather not say because if any of y'all know Shusha watching this, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings in any way and what have you. Anyway, so Shusha returned to the idea of doing a show in the US in '93. Dink wanted to create a whole new program, but MTM wanted to do a project based on the original Brazilian version of Shusha's show. So Shusha went with MTM, as I said, as this aligned more closely with her own ambition for an American program. Anyway, he only ran for a single season, but however had 65 big episodes, just like any other children's program did in syndication. And the series was recorded at CBS Television City, as a matter of fact, where, yes, just like a lot of their game shows were produced. Anyway, it was filmed at Studio 36 on CBS Television City in Hollywood. After the series had ended, though, the series was canceled, though, as it didn't catch on with the audience. The following year, reruns would be shown on the Family Channel, pre-Freeform. The show was made for children 2 to 11 years of age. Yes, even though I might have not been a little too old for this, but this was all I had. I didn't have cable or satellite where I lived well at the time and what have you, to be honest. But anyway, I understand. But even so, I only watched Shusha because, well, I could only catch her if I was out of school or if I was sick. I just try to watch it behind, well, I really would have said behind my folks' back, but because they would be at work and what have you, and well, if someone's taking care of me, well, they wouldn't mind it at all. But hey, with her kissing a child on the cheek, I'm saying, hey, that chick's got the highest lips on the tube, for heaven's sake. Shoot. Well, expenditures around weekly production were budgeted between $150,000 to $200,000, according to Broadcasting Cable Magazine. The set design was a high priority with capacity for 150 to 200 children that would be used for 6 weeks of recording. The total cost was more than $2 million. To some observers, Xuxa's entry into the dominant American market reminded her of another multi-talented Brazilian celebrity. Commenting on the movement, the editor of Brazil magazine in LA wrote that since Carmen Miranda, Brazil did not have an exportable artist. In 94, Xuxa recorded some unaired segments to be inserted into the programs as they were reworked. Well, the show got 1.74 of audience in the month of November, which means that 16,000 families tuned into the show that month, as a matter of fact. But it just wasn't strong enough. While despite its short stay, the show did get nominated for a Daytime Emmy in the category for Best Art Direction, Set Decoration, and Scenography. However, before the show even started, she did Xuxa did spark controversy for appearing briefly in a certain men's magazine, but I really don't get talked about this and what have you. According to the Globe, they criticized televangelist Pat Robertson, who was one of the owners of MTM, and well, Gary Berberet of MTM, a spokesman, tried to soften the controversy, saying, we knew of Xuxa's past, but she brings so much joy to the children of the world that we would not stop her from bringing this joy to America too. Well, that's understandable and what have you. Anyway, I agree with what they said and what have you. And I must say, not just with the highest lips, Shusha was described by one person as a provocative woman who presents her show tucked in a pair of slacks or micro shorts, high top boots, and revealing jackets. Oh yes, well, not all of the time, but she would appear in some other types of clothes. Maybe not that would bother kids much in any way. Anyway, there would be some other things to come out. There would be Elias Shusha dolls released by Rose Art Industries, which were the same size as Mattel's Barbie doll, as a matter of fact. There were even accessories and what have you. They also came with a tape with songs by Shusha in English. Now, even though there was to be an actual album called Talk to Me, but it never got released, unfortunately. The show also received 5 volumes on video cassette in '94 by the Family Channel and Sony Wonder, and 2 issues are highly sought after today: The Fantastic Birthday Party and Celebration with Cheech Marin, who actually was one of the guests of the show. Now, this had numerous celebrity appearances. Now, amongst some of them included Alvin and the Chipmunks. No, not in cartoon form, just some people dressed them in costumes. But however, we did get to hear their actual animated counterparts' voices and what have you. Of course, I think that episode is on YouTube. I could be wrong though. But you'll see Alvin in a cowboy hat because that was out from when they released their Chipmunks in Low Places album, which I happen to have that, by the way. A couple of the American Gladiators was on there. They were Laser and Sky. Others included the act Expose, which that was an R&B act. Harlem Globetrotters, that was one of them. Macho Man Randy Savage, Raven Simone, which after the Cosby Show had just ended, even Weird Al Yankovic. There were also performers in my view, like Universal Studios Animals, Team Rollerblade, the Skate Squad, Rebel Ropers, Mess of Mutts, which they actually do 2 episodes as a matter of fact. Even the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus even appeared. Now, aside from the Mess of Mutts, other people appeared on more than one episode. Among them include country superstar Waylon Jennings, as well as, well, funny guy and the ventriloquist Jeff Dunham, even before he actually really made it big time. Ed Alonso, who appears I guess more than any other, 5 episodes overall, and even the Olsen twins, Mary Kay and Ashley, as Full House was still big at the time, and of course that was just right after they had released their album "I Am the Cute One," which actually you can find both their episodes on YouTube. Now, if you really are curious about Xuxa, there's no problem in finding that. There are some episodes currently available on YouTube. So if you want to look into this, check it out. Believe me, now this isn't what you would expect from what you could expect. You might expect something expected, or well, I don't know. You be the judge. I really think this is really, really something. But anyway, Shusha is definitely a fun show. Let me give you a little bit of a shot of um of some things I could find. Here's a shot of Shusha, and there's Jam, the jaguar, and Jelly, the panda bear. Anyway, I feel like, again, as I've said, this show is so underrated and just wasn't well received in my, well, in a way. I wish this could have done better. I mean, like I said, Shusha had the highest lips on the tube. And believe me, even though I was 13 when this show came out and I saw her with those lips, I just feel like to myself, one of these days I'm going to get kissed by Shusha. And when I do, I'm going to have a lot of fond memories of it. But hey, like that would ever happen. Look, I know. I just threw that in there to see if you were paying attention. But I'm serious about the rest of this, though. It's a fun show. I really loved some of the fun games. Some of the fun games they had were pretty fun, too. Just like what they were done in other kids' game shows. Most notably, Double Dare and Funhouse, both of which were former recent hit kids games. And yeah, there was one something that did have a little bit of a slime in it, or as Shusha referred to it as glue. So anyway, I must say that this is one fun show. I think you'll really like it if you give it a shot. I think you will get a few good laughs and I don't know what have you. So anyway, if you really want to give Shusha a shot, check it out. Just make sure to try and be specific on it. Look up Shusha 1993 US TV series, and you'll have no trouble finding it. Don't worry, some people from other countries do have them, and they are in English. Okay, just don't get them mixed up. Okay. And I do mean as in the shows themselves, because there was another Shusha show that started the same year, as a matter of fact. But anyway, just don't get them mixed up. But anyway, Shusha, I think it's a nice show in a way, because I do like them, how the way the state, well, how it looked, how the show looked, and what have you. Oh yes, and you can't forget, of course, the intro theme, which of course is an American, well, an English version of Shusha and her friends. Which reminds me, that's another thing I forgot. Yeah, at times, Jam and Jelly will help Shusha, well, try and get what, trying to, well, reveal what she's trying to say, because she can't really, she was still having trouble trying to say things in English, but they were there to help, so I think that was nice of them to help out. So give Xuxa a shot and you will not be disappointed. But or maybe you will, but you be the judge, okay? So check it out. So that's gonna do for this. Do you remember episode? Did you ever watch Xuxa when you were a kid in the 90s, or did you ever catch them with your family and what have you? Okay, tell me about in the comments section below. If you like this, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Give them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you like, and we'll have more Do You Remember to come up, because as of this moment, I found more stuff I could tackle in this series. So, Do You Remember is here to stay. So, there may be some more episodes. There'll be some more to follow, details to follow, and what I'll be doing in the future, because I know there's some shows I'm going to look into. Anyway, join me next time when I bring to you a review of Because of Winn-Dixie. That's a film I'm long overdue to review. I know it recently had its anniversary the other day. But anywho, if you like this, check out these other Saturday, well, not just Saturday morning TV log, but there's also some other shows and what have you that have a little fun moments and what have you. But anyway, if you'd like, check out these kids' games. In the upper left-hand corner is the Wide World of Game Shows episode I did on one of the great kids games, Double Dare. Or go to the upper right hand corner and see the Wide World Game Shows episode I did on Funhouse. Or go, yeah, I think I'm gonna do Wide World Game Shows for all this, because since Xuxa did have game shows, it had a little bit a game show feel to in a way. Yeah, I'm gonna do game shows. Go to the bottom left hand corner and see my Wide World Game Shows episode on a real underrated game show, which was Pick Your Brain, which happened to premiere the same year Xuxa's American show did. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as Do You Remember, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.